So, welcome to Empowering Chats with Susan Burrell today. And I have a very interesting, phenomenal, beautiful woman I am going to be chatting with today, whose energy is, I'm telling you guys, it's exquisite. That's how it feels to me. So as I'm receiving her energy and we are vibing up before this podcast, the vibrational frequency this woman brings, I would imagine that she brings it to her work. She was sharing with me, she brought it to the book she's just written, is something that is needed right now for all of humanity. So I want to welcome Athena Bahri. And Athena, thanks for joining me today.
Oh, Susan, thank you so much for having me and for your beautiful, kind words. I'm so grateful to be here and to share with your community. So thank you for that.
Oh, absolutely. I have the best job in the world. I say this almost every time I record because I get to meet really amazing people that are doing amazing work in the world and on behalf of not only themselves, but all of humanity. And that is the thing that juices me. That's what excites me because now is the time. Now is the time to really open up and connect to your higher self, your source, and how you do that. So Athena, everybody, wrote a book that's called Raise Your Vibes, Energy, Self-Healing for Everyone. So she was sharing with me, she's like put her entire toolbox in this book with a bunch of other stuff so that if you want to really dive deep into healing yourself, which is where we all begin, the only way to start, you start at the very beginning of healing yourself so that you can be of service to humanity. This may be the book for you. So we're going to discuss that. So first of all, Athena, give everybody some of your story, your backstory of how you became a Reiki healer and crystals and all of that.
Yes, well, it literally is a backstory. It started, I've had chronic back pain I should say, for 16 years and ended with I had a fracture in there and disc issues and all this stuff. And it finally came to a head that I was going to need surgery, and I had a fusion surgery. Mm-hmm. And I had tried literally everything in Western medicine leading up to this, and nothing was working. Nothing was giving me relief. I was taking pain pills. I was having physical therapy. I was doing, everything that the doctor will suggest to you. That's what I did. And I got no relief. And it was just this constant pain. And it really affected everything in my life, everything, as a mother, as a spouse, as a friend. And I started looking into it. I thought, there has to be something better than what they're giving me, because this isn't working. And I'm not going to just accept this state of living in pain my whole life. I'm way too young for this. And at any age, you shouldn't have to live in a state of pain because it really affects everything. It's so low vibrational. And then you're not living your truth and who you are.
Right.
So I came into Reiki and at crystals about the same time. And I thought, oh my God, this is amazing. This is what I want to do. And my husband was like, Reiki, who does Reiki? Like, what are you talking about? Where did this come from? He's a chiropractor. So, and wonderful. Poor guy, spent so many years, trying to help me and easing my pain. And to the point he was just like so tired of it. And so I came into Reiki and I really wanted to get my master's and really complete the whole process before I decided if I was actually going to have the surgery or not. And I thought, let's try to heal myself. And in the x-rays, it showed that my body was trying to grow bone and it failed. And I was so disappointed with myself and my body, and felt so let down. And so I thought, okay, well, this is it. I have to have the surgery, and it's a big one. And back surgeries are known for failing. So it was a scary kind of thing to take on.
Yeah.
And I went ahead and I did it. And meanwhile, I'm practicing Reiki and I have clients and it's so wonderful. And I'm like, oh, this is so light and loving and everybody feels good. And then I do the surgery and I'm in this hospital room post-op in the most incredible, mind-blowing pain I've ever felt ever. And I've had 3 kids. I've had, this was major. And at one point, my teeth were rattling. I was sobbing. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't see anything. And my husband screams over my sobs, "You're a Reiki master, for God's sakes. Do Reiki on yourself." And it was like this switch, like, oh my gosh, you're right. I can do that. Okay, let's try, and I started, going through the process with my hands, and it was amazing. I mean, in 45 seconds, my breath calmed down, my jaw stopped shaking. Suddenly I could see I had all these people in the room with me. And it was just this like really amazing, my own testimony, like, oh my God, this isn't something that just feels good or is light and loving. This is actually something that's real, and everybody needs to know about this. Like, I need to share this. I need to get this out. And over the next few months, which was certainly a recovery period, I was sleeping with my crystals. Everybody joked, "Oh, you sleep with rocks now, not your husband." I had my rocks, my crystals all over me. And I was doing Reiki every day. And all of the things that are in my book, everything that is in there, I've done myself. So I'm really kind of my own guinea pig. And if it worked, it made it to the book. And now I'm living a life without pain for the first time in pretty much my adult life. And it's really, it's been such a gift. So being able to share this with the world and help people and let them know that, you can take your power back. You don't have to be dependent on healers, on doctors. And I'm not saying don't take your medicine or go off everything, but this really, Reiki and the tools in this book really fills in the gaps where Western medicine can't get all the way.
Yeah,
So
they haven't. Some doctors are beginning to listen to the alternatives.
yes.
I have a plethora of doctors, and I am all about let's do it naturally. And when I bring up stuff, they're like, "What are you doing?"
Yes.
So, but Athena, explain to everybody, for those that may be listening and don't know what Reiki is, explain to them what it is and then why it's so powerful.
Yes. So Reiki is a Japanese healing method. And this modality, the person working with it will literally channel like a straw, like this energy, divine healing light channels into the person, and then typically out through the hands. But it can go, through your pores, through your skin, through your eyes. You can channel this energy in any way that feels right for you. And this is really our universal life force energy that we are bringing into our world, into our tools, into our daily lives. And so it doesn't have anything to do with religion. So people who are, of faith can enjoy this just as much as anybody who does not have faith, and even consider it, this is the energy of source, of God, of light, whatever your belief is. You're channeling this energy, and it's very healing and it's very powerful. And you channel this into, wherever you're placing your focus. For my surgery, I was bringing that in and placing that focus for my back. My husband just had a surgery on his thumb from an old soccer injury, and I was channeling Reiki to his hand. And before I was doing Reiki for him because he's like, "You've got to help me. Like, it's hurting so much. I don't know what to do." So I would do Reiki for him, and he'd usually fall asleep, which is very common when you're having a Reiki treatment. And I really feel like it also leads you, because it gives you this clarity. So it leads you to where you really are meant to be. Whether it's the doctor that you're meant to see, the one that will really resonate with you and be able to help you, whether it's a partner that, you've been looking for love, and, it's you keep running into roadblocks, and then you have this divine clarity, and it's really of yourself. It's bringing this loving light into yourself. And when you radiate from a place of love, everything around you shifts, everything around you changes.
And
so
you see things differently.
Yes, everything vibes differently. And Reiki really is that. It's this universal life force, but it's the highest vibration. It's love. And anybody can do that. And kids do it naturally. Everybody has this gift. Like, think about when you're small and you stab your knee or you hit your head, and mom will immediately, or your caretaker will come over, and usually it's the hands. They'll put their hands on it, or kiss the ouchie better. And in this way, they really are channeling that love, which is Reiki, to the wound, to the hurt. And as kids, it's like, oh yeah, it's better, mom, thanks, and you're back on your way and you're playing. So it's very similar in that way. And the more you do it, the more you practice, the more you actually really start to tune in and sense the energy. Sometimes it's with your hands getting really warm. Sometimes it's just an overall sense of peace. However it works for you, we're all individual, we're all different, and our energy is different. So people experience this differently, but an overall is, a sense of peace and inner clarity, and that warm, tingly, loving feeling. And I've blessed the entire book with this, because I really want people to be able to experience it and take advantage of this divine healing energy, because it's all around us, and it's free, and it's available, and you just have to have a little faith and a little trust that you can do that and take your power back, live your life from where you're meant to live from, and what resonates as truth for you. And then, when you're happier, everybody else around you is too. So
That's really true.
Right?
And I just want to clarify for our listeners what Athena is discussing, this universal life force energy. It isn't something that Reiki masters. It is the thing that powers all of us all the time. And in my experience, what happens is those blocks that keep us from really allowing ourselves, which is why you can heal yourself, right? Really allowing ourselves that divine connection to source, unblocked, clarified, like Athena's talking about, clearing it out so that you can really live a life of happiness and empowerment and love and all. It's very important. But this source energy it's not just available to you, it's in you all the time. And when we've had wounding, and we'll probably talk about that, when we've been wounded, emotional wounding, and like Athena was talking about, physical wounding, then that energy source, sometimes the channel gets congested. And what Reiki does, what Athena's talking about, is unblocking. And therefore, then you can heal, because in my current belief system, because I'm working on healing my physical being, there was nothing wrong in the first place. I mean, you may have a broken arm or you may have stubbed your toe, but when you, like Athena was describing in her experience in the hospital, once she opened up, all that pain went away, and then she was able to see and feel the healing.
Yeah. And often when we have emotional wounds, they will manifest into our physical bodies. So, right? Yes. So when we really give ourselves the chance to tune in to what's really going on inside and have that clarity, and just having, like, it's almost like an honest conversation with yourself, with what's going on in there, dealing with our shadow side, all those areas that maybe we had pain, because that will manifest itself physically. And unless we deal with it, it's like it's going to keep coming. But we all have the ability. I mean, think about how amazing your body is. You get a scratch and your body immediately goes to work healing it. you get a scab, and then next thing you know, 6 months, you don't even see anything was there. And your entire body works like this. I mean, we're an incredible network. We are the universe all on our own. You know, if you look at Earth next to the rest of the universe, look at one cell in our body next to this. I mean, we are an incredible being of energy, and everything is moving and all these pieces working together. So when you have that kind of, you know, a block, an emotional problem, a physical problem, a spiritual problem, that will really it interferes. It just blocks you from living your best life, from living healthy, from living happy. And I would love to just help people figure out for themselves how to clear that, so they can vibrate from a higher place. And everybody around them will feel that. And then, you know, everybody around them will want to be close to you, because who doesn't want to be around somebody that's like happy and vibrating love, right?
Right.
I mean, this is what we're trying to bring to the world here.
Well, and what you're also talking about, what you said, you know, regaining your power, and what we're also what you're describing is in self-healing and regaining your power. It opens up all your potentials so you can activate however you want to be. But a lot of people, especially in the Western culture, we've been culturalized, trained that somebody outside of me knows better what is best for me. That means doctors and specialists, and they know better than me what I need to heal my body. And that isn't necessarily true. I'm saying it straight up. It's not necessarily true. What is true is you know what you need to heal your body, and they are people you work with.
To support you,
exactly.
Not to take over.
Yes. And they can make suggestions, and you can think about it. You're allowed to think about it. And if you can get to a place that Athena's talking about of being clear, then you're not going to be making medical choices out of fear. Oh my God, the doctor said I need to do this, so I better take that magic pill. You can make the choices out of an educated idea, and that is also taking self-responsibility. In order to self-heal, you have to be self-responsible. And raising your vibration, Athena. So you mentioned crystals, okay? Reiki and crystals. Now, how do those two work together?
They work really well together. Well, crystals have their own vibration, their own energy. And when you work with one, you know, it really, your vibration matches, it changes to match that of the crystal energy, because they're kind of they're one of these many gifts from Mother Earth. And they're ancient. I mean, there are some crystals that are like 4 billion years old, like older than any fossil we've ever seen. They really are one of these gifts of Mother Earth. And I really like using them because it brings in that earth element too, because our Mother Earth we're from Mother Earth, right? This is where our life begins. And so connecting with the energy of this home that we live in this time, as well as channeling that divine energy from above or from source, really helps ground you, really is what it comes down to. And people, I find, tend to really need something physical. It's hard to go just based on faith. You'll see it in religious circles where they have incredible faith. I mean, they're just like, yes, absolutely, I know God is real, or Jesus, or Buddha, whoever their faith is. And crystals really helps, especially those who don't maybe have that faith, who don't have that wonderful support and wonderful knowing inside. So together we can use those crystals to help kind of ground you as you're channeling that light. And Reiki, what's amazing, it will always go for your highest good. This is how it's like the most intelligent energy. It'll always go for your highest good. But I find that people will think, well, okay, yes, that was for my highest good, but I need to focus on sleeping better right now. So that's all well and good, but let's get to what I need right now. And crystals are really great because you can choose ones that support that. So support sleep, for example, you'll want to use an amethyst. Some people, they like moonstone, depending on your preference. But with amethyst, then you can take that energy and channel Reiki together with the crystal energy to support whatever their place of focus is for right now. Because we all need, I want it fixed right now, right? So being able to combine these two energies really supports what the person not only thinks they want right now, but what they also actually need right now. So it works. It's a really nice union of the two. I love doing it. It kind of was like a calling, I guess, where it was like, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I have to do. And I really believe in it because I used it myself.
Right.
I had my appetite for growing bone. I had my green calcite for physical healing, and my scars healed so well. And, I took my vitamins, I ate well. I really took care of my body too. I had an incredible support system where my family came and helped me. And that is important too, but not all of us have that. And that doesn't mean that you can't still heal. That doesn't mean that you can't still support yourself and really take your power back to heal yourself. It's like you said with the doctors, they're there to support you. They're there to help you get better, but they don't decide, they don't have the power to just decide. They don't have a magic wand like, here, you're healed. When patients are going through cancer treatments, one of the top things that the doctors will tell them is you have to keep a positive mindset, because positive thought, the vibration of your positive thought, is going to help keep you strong and help you heal and fight this cancer. That's the number one thing they tell you. Well, that's not on a prescription, right? No. That's not something you get in a pill. That's something we have to do themselves. So cancer warriors are some of the strongest, most in tune people I've worked with. They are just so on it. Like, nope, I am doing this, and I'm my will and my way, and let's do this. And it's really amazing to see that empowerment. And unfortunate they have to go through something like cancer to find that, but we all find our way. We all have our own path, our own journey. Yes. And the cards we get dealt with are what we have to face in this life. So,
and what you're talking about with the positive mindset that cancer people employ, yes, to get through the experience and come out the other side healed is vital. And what I was noticing during this pandemic are the people that stayed positive in spite of and regardless of what they were hearing or being told, what they were seeing, maybe feeling, and the people that believed that if they got COVID, they would die. Now, that's not true that everybody that died believed they would die, but there were many instances. I heard of a man who was not very old, in his 50s, and he was having his house painted inside and out during COVID, and all the guys had to wear masks and and because he had to keep his family safe. And one of the painters came in and said, I think I was exposed to someone with COVID, and the man freaked out, kicked everybody out, got COVID within 2 days, and died within a week. Oh. Now, was it his mindset? But I think that the fear that people have when we have a physical experience, that fear, you said it earlier, it lowers your vibration. You go into a low vibration, and then the body system needs to raise in vibration so that the healing energy that is coming in and surrounding us gets utilized. The fear becomes one of those blocks that doesn't allow that energy to be utilized.
Yeah, exactly. Our cells are all full of energy and vibration, and in order for those to work at their best level, if you're working on a low vibration, they can't do what they need to support us. They can't regenerate. They can't, or if they do regenerate, they're not doing it in a way that is for your highest good. They're little broken. They're not, regenerating in a way that supports our being. And that's really important. I mean, it's kind of like, with poor diet, just for example, if we're, when you're sick and you're having a poor diet and all you're doing is thinking, oh my God, I'm sick and I'm miserable, you're going to stay in that state. And it's going to take you a lot longer to heal and to get better. Now, I had friends also during COVID that got COVID. And that was it. They were convinced, like, this is it. I'm a goner. I'm done. I got COVID. I'm going to die. And I love you and bye. And I was like, what? We are not accepting that. What are you talking about? Like, I was doing so much Reiki during Corona. Which was amazing, but especially for people who were really suffering with this anxiety and this fear. And this fear is really so low vibrational, and it's hard not to. I understand. It's all over our media. It's all over the TV. It's in every paper. It's coming out of the mouth of every neighbor, of every friend. Everybody really focused in on this and became kind of, ultra like obsessed even with the idea that we're all going to die. And it's really sad because we're not all going to die. We can take care of ourselves. We can eat well. We can do Reiki. We can keep our crystals close. We can pray. There are so many things that people can bring into their life that can help support them physically and emotionally and spiritually. And the one thing about this pandemic, even though, obviously, if we could go back, I'm sure nobody would want to redo it, but it did give us a chance to really tune in. We all had to turn in and we all had to tune in. And in this time, we really discovered, I think, a lot about ourselves, a lot about our relationships. They say it was a make or break. Well, people who had the opportunity to see their children and their spouses for the first time in a while, or to take care of themselves for the first time in so long, because they were so busy, with life and with work. And now they were faced with, okay, now I'm just home and I'm with you. Let me get to know you again, right? And that's for yourself, your kids, your house. And some relationships, it didn't work out. It broke up a lot of relationships, and that's okay, because
for the highest good.
It was for your highest good, and you were in a relationship that wasn't meant for you. It wasn't serving your highest good. Mm-hmm. And now you have a chance to kind of move away from that and grow and learn about yourself. And, there's always a silver lining. I love that people really tuned in during this time, really paid attention to their self-care, taking care of themselves. I mean, how long had it been since someone, just took a shower because it felt good, not because they had to, get ready and rush out for work. So and writing a book during a pandemic, I mean, that was like a huge silver lining for me. And it was amazing because I had the time, and I had my husband home and he could be with our kids. We have 3 little earth angels, and he was able to help me, and I was able to focus and really bring these tools and this message and this energy out to people who really need it. Because we're not quite out of the woodwork yet.
Oh, no, not yet. No, not yet.
Yeah.
But it's important. Like you said, it was important to take time for yourself and to do this work. And Athena, I'm really grateful that you put it all in a book. Her book is chock full of tools, and you also said rituals.
Yes. I find that it's a lot easier for people to carry out, for everybody to carry out this energy healing when you have kind of some direction. And, we read about it online. It's like, okay, I read it. That's what it does. But now what? So in this, I wanted to give people some action they can take, because, if you're going to heal yourself, you have to take an active role in doing that. So with these rituals, it gives you actions that you can take, things that you can do, you can perform, and really participate in your own healing. That's really kind of the whole point, right? So
right.
They need those tools, and they're fun. And, the magic is in the ritual, in performing the ritual. It's not like, let me do step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and presto, I'm healed. it doesn't quite work like that. It's more like taking joy in the process, in each step, because every time we do that, we're taking an active role in our healing.
And just that, say it again, taking joy.
And taking, what did I say now? It's just
Taking
flying
joy
out of
in
me.
the process.
Taking
That is
joy
what
in the process. Yeah.
that's what I need to be reminded of. I have clients that need to be reminded of, because the truth is, living life is a process.
Yes.
It's a journey. And you can either go kicking and screaming, which I've done. It doesn't work, everybody.
We've all done.
Multiple times, it doesn't work. Or you can begin to find joy in the process of living life, and not just when it's happy, happy, good, good, but even when it's challenging and sorrowful or gripping, to find that avenue of joy, because that's part of what Reiki does too, right? It opens those avenues, those channels, those chi meridians, so that that joy that we are all the time anyway, we have access to.
Right. Yes. And it's really important, life, it's not about the destination. Where's the destination anyway? Then it's over. So that's not the part that matters. The part that matters is the process in between, and really tuning into yourself and to your loved ones, being able to communicate from a place of love, being able to say what you feel what you say, and be heard. I mean, this is really important too. Like, communication is a huge one for most of us, and for most couples and families. And how many family dynamics do you have out there where they're squabbling at every dinner and every Christmas or holiday? And, because we're not communicating from a place of love. Everybody's so, determined to get their point of view out, and I'm right. And, we're all right. We all have our own truth. We all have what resonates for us. And speaking from a place of love, taking a moment to go through the process with your partner or with your child, and really enjoying the journey of life together. That's the point. I mean, we have such a small amount of time, really. If you look at, our universe and how old that is, right? Or do we even know? And look at our little tiny life, and how long we're here on this planet. So making the most of this time, making connections with people that you love, that you can help, and being that better person that raises your vibration, so you can live a happier life. And it's not like you read the book, you do a ritual, and okay, I'm happy all the time. The best times to do these rituals is when you are struggling, because this is when you need that support. This is when you need to do your work. When we're having those hard times, this is when we, tend to look at life like it's ending, or like COVID, we're going to die and this is it and it's over. These are the moments that are so important to focus our energy and channel that love, because this is where we need that support and to help raise ourselves out of it. And how would we know anyway what's good if we didn't experience what's not so good?
Yes. Well, and you mentioned at the very beginning about the shadow side, and we all have that. And raising your vibration doesn't necessarily release you from those shadow pockets, because they like to move around,
Oh, yes.
Because we're all in that dynamic flow of source energy. And so while all our good is moving around, so are some of those shadow things that we need to just face.
Yeah.
And either we address it or accept it, or or we ignore it, and then it just amplifies.
And it comes through in other ways, other channels. I mean, when we don't heal with something that is troubling us, or an experience or a trauma, it just manifests itself into other things, it can manifest into, relationships where, you can't seem to work it out. And every relationship, this happens like every time. Well, that's an opportunity to really kind of tune in and think, okay, why is this happening? What am I vibrating out that I am attracting this? And work on shifting that. And healing is done in layers. So just when you thought, oh, I got this, something else will come up and say, oh, really? Are you sure? Are you sure? Because now I think we should work on this now.
Right. Something always, because the universe abhors a vacuum. So as soon as you release one thing, right, the next thing lifts up. Oh, good. I'm so glad you got rid of that other one, because we really need to talk about this now.
Now we can deal with this. Yes. And you're like, no, but wait. And it's so important too, when you do this and you deal with these things and release them, which I love to do in like burning rituals, where you can like write letters to yourself or to a loved one, unspoken words. This really helps with grieving as well. Just getting out all this stuff that we have stuck in here, writing it out, burning it, sending it to the universe. But then also you have to, after you've released, you have to also fill that space back up with some love and some light. And Reiki is a very gentle and loving, easy way to do that. You got to refill your cup, refill yourself with that love and that light, so you can live better. And then whatever you just released can stay out,
Right. Exactly.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you're amplifying that higher frequency of love. And I want everybody to understand that as we build that higher frequency of love within us, it does radiate out, like Athena's saying. It radiates out. So when you go to the grocery store, you are actually helping everybody you walk by in their experience of life by radiating the love that you are and sharing it. You don't have to touch anybody. You don't even have to look at them. Just be in the center of the truth of who you are, which is love and light, like Athena says, and allow that to radiate out. That's how we're going to heal the entire planet.
Yes. Yeah. Amen. Yes. That's
Right.
it. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So Athena's book is called Raise Your Vibes, Energy, Self-Healing for Everyone. And it's chock full of stuff. And Athena, what's the website? What's your website so everybody can go and investigate?
It's crystalreikihealer.com. And I'm Crystal Reiki Healer across all the platforms. You can also look up Athena Bahri, but the spelling on that is hard, right? Bahri. So people kind of tend to struggle with the name, but Crystal Reiki Healer on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, and then the website itself and the book. I have signed copies now that I'm so excited to share with people within the US. And then if you're outside the US, then, Amazon, Watkins, bookshop.org, Goodreads, all of these independents will have it anywhere books are sold, Barnes and Noble. But I would love to be able to share this with, as many people as I can, or share it, get one and share it with your friends, because, it's all about healing ourselves, because when you vibrate higher, I vibrate higher, and our whole world vibrates higher.
Yes.
But it all has to start within. So I want everybody to please work on that, empower yourself, know that you are an amazing being of light, and you have absolutely every tool to heal yourself and those around you. So let's change the dialogue now coming out of this pandemic, right? Let's let go of all that fear, and let's let go of all those struggles, and move forward from a higher vibration.
Athena, what a joy. I said it at the beginning, exquisite energy. I'm saying it again. What a joy. And thank you for doing the work that you do. I personally am deeply grateful that you're here doing the work that you do on behalf of the whole, everyone, humanity. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me, love. I'm so grateful to be here, and it's been beautiful chatting with you. And I always love a wonderful spiritual talk, and you're just such a love. So thank you so much, love. Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm just going to end with, and so it is, namaste.